Do you think it's worth it to switch up your tech stack? Is it even worth it to spend the time to explore and learn a totally new tech stack for building out your own apps, your own products, your own sites? Well, I'm going to find out this month because I'm exploring that very question. For the past 7 years or so, I've been building products using Ruby on Rails and the related stacks to that. And now here in 2024, I'm taking a minute to see if I'm actually going to spend the next 7 years or more sticking exclusively to using Ruby on Rails for all of my new products and projects. I don't know if the answer is yes or not. I'm exploring. I'm vetting this question. I'm looking at the Laravel, PHP Laravel, also what's known as these days as the tall stack. So Tailwind CSS, Alpine JS, Laravel, and Livewire. I think there's some really compelling things happening in that whole world. So I'm exploring, but I'm going to leave the the this versus that tech stack comparisons, the technical like pros and cons. I'm going to leave all that stuff for maybe another video at some point. I am collecting some opinions on what I like and what I don't like about both Rails and Laravel right now. But I'm still learning. I'm going to share that stuff in a future video. So if you have any questions about my thoughts on any of that, let me know in the comments, and I will post another one pretty soon. But what I want to share right now, like one point on this question is, I think it's important that we don't judge our speed to building right out of the gate, because no matter what, if you're exploring a new stack, if you're learning a new stack, you're going to be way, way slower. I mean, I'm seeing that firsthand right now, and I've seen this time and time again in the past when I've learned new technical skills, new stacks. You're always going to be super slow out of the gate. So don't judge like which one you're fastest at building with until you've put in the reps, until you've built a couple of practice projects or shipped a product or two or three with the new stack. Then you can start to see and get more comfortable with the workflow, and then you can start to judge like is building in this stack really actually faster or not. So that's the first point. What I'm most interested right now today in this video is the business question of like, is it actually a good investment of time to spend the time to explore, to learn new technologies, to learn new workflows of building things, when in fact, like in my case, and maybe in your case, you're already fast, you're already effective with one particular stack. Is it even worth it to spend the time to switch or to explore or to learn another stack? Well, just like just about every business question out there, it depends, right? Well, what does it actually depend on? That's the more important, that's the more interesting question, right? Well, I think it depends on, number one, like, are you shipping, like, is your goal to ship a single app? Are you just trying to build one product and get that out to customers as efficiently as possible? Then don't switch. Don't spend the time to learn something new and slow yourself down, because if you're just trying to ship a single app and you don't have any goals or aspirations beyond this one particular product, there's no point in switching. It's more important to get your product out and built and into the hands of your first customers. And the fastest way to do that is to stick to whatever stack you are most comfortable with. In my case, I'm still fastest and most comfortable in Ruby on Rails. So even in the new products that I'm starting today, like just last week, I started a new one with a client. I went with Rails because it's still a great option and I'm fastest with it. And I know exactly how to build the product that we need to build using Rails because I'm most comfortable in that stack. If you're more comfortable in Laravel or Node or whatever else it might be, go with what you know, right? But there's a flip side. That in my case, I happen to be starting up a new product studio that I'm calling Instrumental Products. And the whole business behind this studio is we're building many apps. Some of them are my own products. Some of them I'm building with clients. Some of them I'm building with partners. That's what we do. That's what me and my little shop, my little consultancy here at Instrumental Products, that's what we do. We build products. We're building them repeatedly. We're filling up our calendar for this year and next year. And so we're in the business of building products. So I think when that's the case, so whether you're building out products for clients or you're building out your own portfolio of products, then yeah, I think it's totally valid, totally fine to take a minute. In my case, I'm taking about a month, balancing across other products and projects. I think it's okay to take a minute to vet this question of, is my current stack the best stack to serve me and my business's goals for years to come? So I am vetting that question. I am working on it. I'm working through it. I've been going through the paces of learning Laravel and the tall stack. And here's what I'm actually looking for. Here's what I'm trying to uncover. Here's what I'm exploring. And these are the business questions at the high level, while I'm in the weeds learning the technical process of building and deploying apps using a stack that's somewhat new to me. I'm vetting out these factors, really. Number one, like, is this going to be the right tool for the job? And the job being like, we're building modern, high quality web applications. Can we do that consistently, reliably, and effectively using this stack? Another one that's always super important to me is, can we ship fast? Shipping speed is everything. I design and build and ship new products. Again, whether they're for me or for clients, in both cases, I want to make sure that we are getting the product into the hands of first customers as quickly, as efficiently as possible, to get that feedback, to get the product into the market. That's super critical for the viability of a new product. So can we leverage this tech stack, whether my current one or the new one, to ship fast? Another one that's really important when you're building a business around a particular tech stack is, are there abundant resources in this stack, right? So are there lots of component libraries? And when looking at component libraries, I think about like the most essential ones, the ones that we use on every single project, like authentication or billing or other things like that. But you want to see a really healthy ecosystem of component libraries and tools and products that serve this tech stack. Another one is training materials, video courses, books, communities, memberships where you and the people that you work with, your team members, people that you hire, is there enough material and up-to-date training resources to learn the stack, to go back to those training resources when you need to learn something new and specific. And then, developer communities and hiring pools. So is there a worldwide growing community of developers in this tech stack who you can connect with for advice, who you can connect with to maybe team up and partner with on projects or on businesses? Or can you look to these growing pools of developers to hire out and bring onto your team to help you execute on projects? I think that's a really important thing to consider when you're deciding to build a business around a particular tech stack, like I am. The last one that has always been super important to all of the businesses that I've built before, and some of the success of my previous businesses, and like even my ability to build and then sell those businesses, has been on how effective we've been at streamlining the operation. Can we do what we do repeatedly, consistently? Can we build processes? Can we build a team around this so that it runs more and more like a machine, like a predictable growth machine? That's essentially what we're doing when we're building a business. So if I'm in the business of building apps and building out new products for clients and for myself and for my portfolio, then we need to have a system, we need to have a stack that is easy for us to spin up new apps. That's also easy for us to maintain existing apps as our portfolio grows. We want to be able to reuse resources across our whole portfolio. We want every one of our products and apps to be more or less consistent so that we can use the same methodologies, we can use the same people across different projects. Maintainability and streamlining that across the portfolio is really important. And of course, being able to either share infrastructure or at least use the same systems for infrastructure when it comes to things like hosting and DevOps and things like that. You know what? The truth, at the end of the day, both your current stack and whatever shiny new stack you're looking at, they can probably check all those boxes. In my case, I'm super comfortable in Ruby on Rails. Ruby on Rails is a perfectly fine tech stack, and I think it absolutely checks all the boxes that I was talking about, these 4 important factors. Rails, it's a yes on all 4 of those. But I think there's also something about the current momentum in the industry, and I'm personally interested in the PHP Laravel tall stack, Tailwind, Alpine, Laravel, Livewire. I think in some ways, maybe that stack, from what I can tell, can answer these factors, can answer these questions, maybe even a little bit more effectively. I'm especially looking at, are there abundant resources and streamlining the operation? I think those 2, might be more effective in Laravel land. I don't know yet. I'm still exploring. I'm still learning, and maybe I'll share another video or 2 as I learn more about that. But there's something happening in, something about the maturity level that it's really reaching this point where I think all these resources, all these communities, and all these libraries and developers, I think it's all becoming more and more integrated, more than ever before. Both Laravel and Rails are very, very mature frameworks and ecosystems. And that's what I like about both of them. I tend to shy away from the super shiny and brand new, like version 1 of frameworks. Rails is on Rails version 7. Laravel just came out with version 11. So these things are not new, but they're really, really mature, and there's certain shifts in momentum. I think for me, it's more personal though. Like this year in 2024, I'm developing instrumental products, my product studio. So I think it's a good moment in time for me personally, after having spent 7 years, sticking exclusively to Rails. I think I'm at a good moment here where it makes sense to, I'll take a month to explore this question. I think, and a little FOMO, a little fear of missing out, seeing what's over there in Laravel land. I think it never hurts, But the key point, the key aspect here, I think, is to be intentional about taking the time to explore. If you're going to take the time, you have to understand why. That's the whole point of this video, is why I'm taking a minute, taking a month to explore this question. Because anytime you're investing time, that's a business decision. You're investing that time for a particular outcome. Maybe the outcome is, I'm going to stick with Rails, or I'm going to stick with my current stack and not switch over. Maybe the outcome is we'll become a hybrid. Maybe the outcome is, we will find a new and better way of doing what we do as a product studio. That remains to be seen, but the business decision right now is I'm going to explore. I'm going to take about a month. I'm willing to take about a month. I'm not really willing to take more than a month. I don't want to go into a rabbit hole that takes me all year of just learning the textbook on every aspect of these tech stacks. But I want to see if we can build and if we can be effective with a new stack. So I'm exploring. I think it's an interesting question to ask, and that's what I have for you today. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with another video, and I'll be sharing notes on this, specifically what I like and dislike about Rails versus Laravel and the ecosystems in each as I learn more about those. So if you have any specific questions about this or any feedback for me as I'm looking through these tech stacks, I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching.